Please subscribe, like and share this content. It means a lot to us. Thank you in advance.
Cornell Law School.
U.C.C. Article 9. Secured Transactions. Part 5. Filing.
Subpart 1. Filing Office, Contents and Effectiveness of Financing Statement. Section 9507. Effect of certain events on effectiveness of financing statement. A disposition. A filed financing statement remains effective with respect to collateral that is sold, exchanged, leased, licensed, or otherwise disposed of and in which a security interest or agricultural lien continues, even if the secured party knows of or consents to the disposition. B. Information becoming seriously misleading, except as otherwise provided in subsection C and Section 9508. A financing statement is not rendered ineffective if, after the financing statement is filed, the information provided in the financing statement becomes seriously misleading under Section 9506. C. Change in debtor's name. If the name that a filed financing statement provides for a debtor becomes insufficient as the name of the debtor under Section 9503, so that the financing statement becomes seriously misleading under Section 9506. 1. The financing statement is effective to perfect a security interest in collateral acquired by the debtor before, or within 4 months after, the filed financing statement becomes seriously misleading, and 2. The financing statement is not effective to perfect a security interest in collateral acquired by the debtor more than 4 months after the filed financing statement becomes seriously misleading, unless an amendment to the financing statement which renders the financing statement not seriously misleading is filed within 4 months after the financing statement became seriously misleading. Section 9508. Effectiveness of financing statement if new debtor becomes bound by security agreement. Financing statement naming original debtor, except as otherwise provided in this section. A filed financing statement naming an original debtor is effective to perfect a security interest in collateral in which a new debtor has or acquires rights to the extent that the financing statement would have been effective had the original debtor acquired rights in the collateral. B. Financing statement becoming seriously misleading. If the difference between the name of the original debtor and that of the new debtor causes a filed financing statement that is effective under subsection to be seriously misleading under Section 9506. 1. The financing statement is effective to perfect a security interest in collateral acquired by the new debtor before, and within 4 months after, the new debtor becomes bound under Section 9203 D, and 2. The financing statement is not effective to perfect a security interest in collateral acquired by the new debtor more than 4 months after the new debtor becomes bound under Section 9203 D, unless an initial financing statement providing the name of the new debtor is filed before the expiration of that time. C. When section not applicable. This section does not apply to collateral as to which a filed financing statement remains effective against the new debtor under Section 9507. Section 9509. Persons entitled to file a record. Person entitled to file record. A person may file an initial financing statement, amendment that adds collateral covered by a financing statement, or amendment that adds a debtor to a financing statement only if 1. The debtor authorizes the filing in an authenticated record or pursuant to subsection B or C, or 2. The person holds an agricultural lien that has become effective at the time of filing and the financing statement covers only collateral in which the person holds an agricultural lien. B. Security agreement as authorization. By authenticating or becoming bound as debtor by a security agreement, a debtor or new debtor authorizes the filing of an initial financing statement, and an amendment, covering 1. The collateral described in the security agreement, and 2. Property that becomes collateral under Section 9315. 2. Whether or not the security agreement expressly covers proceeds. C. Acquisition of collateral as authorization. By acquiring collateral in which a security interest or agricultural lien continues under Section 9315. 1. A debtor authorizes the filing of an initial financing statement, and an amendment, covering the collateral and property that becomes collateral under Section 9315. 2. D. Person entitled to file certain amendments. A person may file an amendment other than an amendment that adds collateral covered by a financing statement or an amendment that adds a debtor to a financing statement only if 1. The secured party of record authorizes the filing, or 2. The amendment is a termination statement for a financing statement as to which the secured party of record has failed to file or send a termination statement as required by Section 9513, or c. The debtor authorizes the filing, and the termination statement indicates that the debtor authorized it to be filed. E. Multiple secured parties of record. If there is more than one secured party of record for a financing statement, each secured party of record may authorize the filing of an amendment under subsection D. Section 9510. Effectiveness of filed record. Filed record effective if authorized. A filed record is effective only to the extent that it was filed by a person that may file it under Section 9509. B. Authorization by one secured party of record. A record authorized by one secured party of record does not affect the financing statement with respect to another secured party of record. See continuation statement not timely filed. A continuation statement that is not filed within the 6-month period prescribed by Section 9515 D is ineffective. Section 9511. Secured party of record. A secured party of record. A secured party of record with respect to a financing statement is a person whose name is provided as the name of the secured party or a representative of the secured party in an initial financing statement that has been filed. If an initial financing statement is filed under Section 9514, the assignee named in the initial financing statement is the secured party of record with respect to the financing statement. B. Amendment naming secured party of record. If an amendment of a financing statement which provides the name of a person as a secured party or a representative of a secured party is filed, the person named in the amendment is a secured party of record. If an amendment is filed under Section 9514, B. The assignee named in the amendment is a secured party of record. C. Amendment deleting secured party of record. A person remains a secured party of record until the filing of an amendment of the financing statement which deletes the person. Section 9512. Amendment of financing statement alternative A. Amendment of information in financing statement. Subject to Section 9509. A person may add or delete collateral covered by, continue or terminate the effectiveness of, or, subject to subsection E. Otherwise amend the information provided in a financing statement by filing an amendment that 1. Identifies, by its file number, the initial financing statement to which the amendment relates, and 2. If the amendment relates to an initial financing statement filed, or recorded, in a filing office described in Section 9501, 1. Provides the information specified in Section 9502, B. Alternative B. Amendment of information in financing statement. Subject to Section 9509. A person may add or delete collateral covered by, continue or terminate the effectiveness of, or, subject to subsection E. Otherwise amend the information provided in a financing statement by filing an amendment that 1. Identifies, by its file number, the initial financing statement to which the amendment relates, and 2. If the amendment relates to an initial financing statement filed, or recorded, in a filing office described in Section 9501, 1. Provides the date and time that the initial financing statement was filed, or recorded, and the information specified in Section 9502, B. End of alternatives. B. Period of effectiveness not affected, except as otherwise provided in Section 9515. The filing of an amendment does not extend the period of effectiveness of the financing statement. See effectiveness of amendment adding collateral. A financing statement that is amended by an amendment that adds collateral is effective as to the added collateral only from the date of the filing of the amendment. D. Effectiveness of amendment adding debtor. A financing statement that is amended by an amendment that adds a debtor is effective as to the added debtor only from the date of the filing of the amendment. E. Certain amendments ineffective. An amendment is ineffective to the extent it 1. Purports to delete all debtors and fails to provide the name of a debtor to be covered by the financing statement, or 2. Purports to delete all secured parties of record and fails to provide the name of a new secured party of record.